Hey there guys, and welcome back to Tech Easily. So in today's video, I will be teaching you guys how to add in videos into your web pages in HTML. Now I'm going to teach you how to put in an MP4 video and also teach you how to embed videos from online so you can put them into your web pages as well. I will also be teaching you how to display an error message if your video does not load up. So if you're interested in seeing how to do this, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so first I'll teach you how to put in the MP4 video, and then I'll teach you how to embed videos. So the first thing you're going to need is your actual video you want to put into the web page. So you could download this from the internet, or you can upload this from your devices, your phones, your cameras, etc. Now one thing you need to make sure is that you know the type of your file before you put this into your code. So here I can see mine is actually MP4, and you can see the size and the length as well. But if you're not really sure and you want to make sure, just right click on your video. I showed this to you in the image video as well, and just go down into properties. And what you can see here is the type of file, and it says MP4 file, and you can also see .mp4. And this is really useful. You need to actually know the type of your file before we start coding. So let's start, and in my notepad I'm going to put in my title as always. So adding videos in HTML, and like always my video is actually going to go inside my body, and the way we add videos into our HTML pages is by using the video element. So I'm going to open that up and close it. Okay guys, so before I go into my video and put in the source and put in all the autoplay, the controls, the error messages and all that good stuff, I'm actually going to save my file first. So I'm going to click into File, go into Save As, and then notice that I'm saving it on my desktop, so the same location as my video. And this is to start off with, just for the basics. Later on in this video, I'll teach you how to link them together if they're in a different location. So you can see it has appeared now. Before I go in and put in the source of my video, I just want to tell you guys, whatever you put in from the beginning to the end of your video element, so in between the lines here, it's going to be displayed in your browser if it does not support this video element. So it's always a good idea to put that in. So I'm just going to put in this browser does not support this video. Okay. Okay, so before we put in the source on where to actually locate the video from, I'm going to put in the height and the width for this video, and it's always good practice to put these in. So I'm just gonna say the height is 300 and the width is 600. Now another very important thing to do is put in the controls for our video. So as the name suggests, it allows us to add in controls for our video. So these include pausing, it includes the playing function, you can allow you to fast forward and adjust the volume, etc. So basically, if you do not put in controls here, you'll basically just end up with an image and you can't do anything with it. So really important you put that in. Okay, so now that we have the basics out of the way, we have the height, the width, the controls, and our error messages in, we can now go on and actually put in the source of this video. Okay, so let's open up our source element here. So I'm going to say source. And just like we did for our image video, we're going to have an src and equals. And inside these quotation marks is where the name and the type of your video is going to go. So I know that my video is called tutorial, so I'm going to put in tutorial. Again guys, be really careful of the spellings. This is where people make mistakes, their video doesn't show up. Get the spellings right, and then put in .mp4 because that's my file type. Now if your file type was .ogg, you're going to put in .ogg here, but mine's mp4. And then one last thing you need to specify here is the type. So I know that my type is a video, and the video type is actually MP4. Again, if my video was OGG here, I need to specify OGG here. So just make sure that you know what type it is. That's why in the beginning I showed you guys how to get the correct type, because this is where it comes into play now. Another thing, guys, if you guys have another video format, you can basically just copy this and paste this in underneath here. So if I had another video that was type OGG and then change that here, what this allows for is that the browser can actually choose the format it recognizes. So if it doesn't recognize MP4, it's gonna choose the OGG one. So this is actually optional. It's if you want to put in both of them, but I know that I'm just gonna use the MP4 one. So now that that's out of the way, we can click on File, Save, and let's test this out in our browsers. Okay, so as you can see, my video has actually appeared in my browser. Now the height is 300 and the width is 600. Now this is what I meant by controls. If I didn't put in controls, I wouldn't be able to pause or play my video. I wouldn't be able to mute it. I'm just going to mute this so you guys don't hear it in the background. I'm able to fast forward it. I'm able to make it full screen. You can do all these things if you put in the controls, so that's very important. Another thing you can do is actually change the width and height. So if I think that's too small, I want to make this bigger, I'll just change the height to 600 and the width to 900. Click on File, Save, or just press Ctrl and S with your keyboard. And if I go into my web page, I can just reload this to check.
Hey there guys, and welcome back to Techie.
Just to mute that, it's gotten bigger as well. So basically you can change all of these things inside the video element. Now before we move on, guys, I want to show you how to put in autoplay. Now this is if you want, every time you load up your web page, you don't want to click play. You want it to automatically play for you all the time. So what you can do is go into your video element, beside controls, you're going to put in autoplay, and this allows it to play automatically in your browser. Go into File, Save, or Ctrl and S, and let's run this in our browser. Now let's see if it loads up automatically. If you notice, it hasn't, so I still need to click play for it to start playing the video. And this is because the autoplay is only supported by some versions of some specific browsers. So if I close this up and if I right click on my video and say open with Microsoft Edge,
so in today's video I will be teaching you guys
automatically started to play the video. I haven't clicked on actually playing it. So what that goes to tell you is that only some browsers actually support the autoplay function, and it's actually dependent on various versions of various browsers as well. So you just have to double check that when you want to add that in. Okay guys, so one last thing before we actually move on to embedding videos. Like I mentioned before, what if my HTML file is not located in the same location as my video? So I just created a folder called video here, and inside that folder I put in my video called tutorial. So how do I link this together? I wanted to play. So you go back into your source here, and now on the desktop there is no video, there's no tutorial.mp4. So it's not going to be able to play this because it can't find it here. So what I need to tell it is, actually there's a folder called video, and inside that folder there's a tutorial.mp4. Now this is the same as my image tutorial where I showed you guys. / means it's in a folder called video, but it's inside that folder. So now if I file and save, it should work just the same. Okay, so right, it appears in the same way as it did before. Now guys, if you had another folder inside of this folder and the video was inside that folder, you just need to keep on putting the name of your folders with a / to say it's inside that folder, and it works just the same. Okay guys, so for the second part of the video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to embed videos from YouTube. Now honestly, from a developer's point of view, I think embedding videos is the way to go, because when you go to deploy your website in the long term, you don't want to be loading up all these long videos onto your server. It's not a good idea. So the technique we use to link videos is called embedding. So I've gone into YouTube, I've gone into one of my videos, the lists one. It can be any video you want. The method is exactly the same. What you guys want to do is go into share, and what you're going to see is a bunch of options. Usually you just copy the URL. What you want to do is click on embed, and what it does, it has already prepared the iframe for you with all of these, with the height, the frame, the full screen, autoplay. So all the control functions are already in there. Now if I move this up a bit, you can see more options. So embed options. If I untick this, it's going to take away show player controls. It's not going to allow the user to be able to pause, fast forward, all of these options, but I do want to allow the user to do that. So I'm just going to tick this. Basically, you can just tick or untick all the options that you want. And once you're happy with this, you can just click on this, right click, copy, or you can just Control and C. And if I go back to my code inside the body here, I'm just going to paste, or Control V, and I'm just going to put this in separate rows so you guys can see easily. And there we go. Now this way of doing it is obviously a lot easier, a lot quicker than doing the whole MP4 and loading it up onto your server. It's honestly a much better way to do it this way. So I'm just gonna save my file now and run this. And as you guys can see, it has loaded up from YouTube, and it has the same functions. You can mute this, you can forward this, you can pause and play and do all. Okay guys, so before I end this video, I know it's been a long one, but to autoplay my YouTube video from inside of my iframe, what you guys have to do is, so look into your source, so where your HTTPS is. Now this is basically our URL. Now where this ends, so after the last part, I'm going to put in question mark. I'm going to say autoplay is equal to, okay, so, and let me go over that again. After my URL ends, I'm going to put in question mark, autoplay is equal to 1. Now this is going to automatically play my video in my browser, so I don't actually need to go in each time and press play. So let's click File, Save, and let's test this out. Now you guys can see I haven't even pressed the play button and it has started to autoplay. The rest of the features are the same, so that's what you guys need to do if you want to autoplay the videos. And this is basically the method that you use to embed videos into your HTML web page. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you learned something about adding videos into your HTML web pages or embedding videos as well. And until we code again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please feel free to leave any suggestions, recommendations, or questions that you guys may have in the comments below, and I will get to them as quick as I can. And I will see you in my next video.